doing this no phone zone thing, I just can't.
I'm going to do it. Like you already got me. I will. I promise you, I do not say this lightly. That's why I actually started to cry twice in the podcast because you said it and I was like, oh, that's genius.
And it's so
small.
Genius.
It's going to change everything for me.
And for everyone, honestly, because listen, the truth is—
Move Forward Everyday podcast. We all get 24 hours in a day to have freedom, to experience joy. What is important to you? Who are you? And what makes you happy?
Hi, everyone. I'm MaryRuth Guillaume, the founder and CEO of MaryRuth Organics, and this is the Move Forward Everyday podcast. Today, I am so thrilled as we're wrapping up the end of the year to have one of my best friends on the podcast. For those of you who do not know, I have 4 best friends that are female, and I'm going to name them here. My mother is my closest confidant and dearest best friend, Colleen, and my good friend, Erin. We've known each other about the same length as Daphne, who we have here today, my good friend, Christina, and my very, very good friend, Daphne. So best friend in the whole world is here with us today, and so thrilled to take a moment to introduce you to Daphne. She has an incredible company that she's had for a very long time that is in service to other people through health and wellness, mental health, and everything that you would want to know about the body, nutrition. It is called Doing Well. So if you would like to follow her on Instagram, it's at Doing Well. And Daphne is also a wife and an incredible mother to 2 beautiful, beautiful boys. She not only is in charge of Doing Well Instagram, but it also has 2 really incredible features that I have personally known many people who have gone through her program and have really found so much health and wellness through your health education and your information. It's a subscription. So it's a community subscription, which Daphne will tell you about. That's the Doing Well subscription, and her one-on-one coaching, which is incredible. A lot of you know, before we hear from Daphne, a lot of you know that I also had a private practice in New York City on 47th and 3rd, long before I had liquid vitamins. And through that practice, it was really one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done. Daphne is really the only person that I know who shares and teaches in a very, very similar way, because not only are we best friends, but the way that we live through mental health, through health and wellness, what we do in our 24-hour morning and nighttime routines, and just in service to people, it's very similar. So I am happy if you are listening to this podcast and you have been looking for someone to work with. People always ask me, MaryRuth, like, who should I work with? Do you see people anymore, MaryRuth? And I always say Daphne. So without further ado, please, Daphne, we would love to hear from you. We'd like to hear anything you want to share about yourself, your family, and Doing Well. And then we will go through your morning and nighttime routines. So welcome.
Thank you for having me. I've been wanting to sit with you. I consider this a date just to talk to you. I love it. And thank you for such a beautiful introduction. You really changed the direction of my life when I worked with you as my health coach. And now I'm a health coach. And like you said, my work is so inspired by what you taught me and the work we move through together, and still inspired by you, because really what I do is I help busy people build lasting routines. And I think we all know sort of what to do. We have a lot of information that's available to us, but most of us who are parents, professionals, partners, we are struggling to understand how to get it in and how to do it alongside our jobs, our relationships, our, real lives, right? So I would say my specialty is helping people who are leading real busy lives build these routines. And that's, founded in nutrition, but also lifestyle. So sleep, stress management, time and space management, exercise, how to do it when we don't want to, all of those things. So I work with people one-on-one. I lead group programs about twice a year. And I also have a membership, which is the most accessible way to work with me, where I release content every week that is rooted in these principles of doable health.
Also, Daphne's Instagram is very, very beautiful. She chooses images that are like from art and fashion. I mean, what would you say about your imagery? I just feel like it's so unique and so beautiful and clever. It's really clever.
Thank you. I wanted to have an account that appealed to people beyond sort of smoothies and salads. And I use a lot of archival imagery and try to draw people in who might not relate to such a kind of specific version of health, right? So I use images that I think are beautiful and inspiring, and also because I have a history in fashion and I love art, so I wanted to maintain some sense of creativity while I did this work.
So really every podcast that we've done, it's the same format, and we just like to hear from real people about their morning and nighttime routines, and maybe also how they've changed, or sometimes if you skip part of your routine, depending on how you're feeling. We always start with the morning routine. So please feel free to share with us what you do. And also it's helpful you kind of say like what time you get up, what like really maybe the weekend versus when your kids are going to school, or any thoughts you have on morning routine. So many people want to have a morning routine, I think, as you know, and then they don't really. And so this is kind of hopefully sparking inspiration for people to say like, okay, I can do this too.
This is my favorite thing, is to ask people, what is your routine?
Yeah.
Okay. I have 2 young children. So I have my younger son is turning 5 tomorrow, and I have a 7-year-old. So my early morning routine is focused on them. My sort of early, mid-morning, not mid-morning, but still early. I'm going to break it down time-wise.
Yeah.
And then I go to work. So the biggest, most impactful change that I have made on my health in the last 2 years is I create something that I call a no phone zone. So I wake up every day at 6:40 before my children, who I wake up at 7, because right now we live close to our school.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I have a no phone zone. So I do not look at my phone until my children leave for school. I used to wake up and look at my phone right away. And even if I left my phone in my bedroom or behind, I would still be kind of ignited to start my work day. Or even if my sister or a friend texted me, my mind was elsewhere. And it left me feeling really scattered and thin as a parent. And so now, even though it's not that long, it's from 6:40 until my children leave, which is around 7:50, 8 a.m., no phone zone. I do not look at my phone. So I wake up a little bit early. I begin to prepare my children's breakfast. I prepare their lunch to take to school. Then I get my children up at 7, and we have family time. And it's not that much time, but because I'm not divided, I'm not looking elsewhere, it's quality with my children, and they have my full attention. And I have to say, creating the no phone zone has made me feel so much more confident as a mom, because parenting is really hard when you're trying to do anything else.
It's so powerful. I'm almost going to cry.
And I almost am like, wow, this is, at first I was like, it's kind of pathetic that it's only 2 hours or an hour and a half without my phone, but it has such an impact, and small humans actually don't know what time is. So they're experiencing the present moment, you know? So that's a powerful part of my morning routine. Then I get my children off to school, and at that sometime in the morning, I'm drinking my water, and I make a delicious coffee with homemade almond milk. I just like to throw in the details.
I remember since the first beginning of our friendship, you love coffee.
I love a coffee. I'm not taking
That's
that
like
away
your
from
special
anyone.
moment. It's your special moment.
So and it's such a beautiful ritual. And then my children are off to school, and I exercise. So I live very fortunately next to a reservoir, so I can run that loop or walk that loop or find some stairs. And I do that every morning before I sit down at my desk to sit with clients.
Yeah.
And I always say mood follows action, which I've heard you talk about recently on podcasts, which is you actually have to do the thing to be in the mood to do it. You can't wait to be in the mood to do it, to get started.
No.
And then there's 2 other things that I do throughout my morning. Typically, once I'm at my desk, I'll have a green juice. I try to drink 1 liter of water by noon. And then the other 2 things that I do at my desk are I write down at some point over the course of the morning, because my morning is quite tight because of that exercise chunk. So I sit down and I'm seeing my clients, but I have little buffers in between each session. And I just make a very brief list, like bullet points of 4 things that I'm grateful for, note form, not elaborate journal entry, just 4 bullet points. And then I write 4 best case scenarios. So I am an anxious person and I tend to imagine the worst, or I get worried or anticipate things happening that are out of my control. And I have found it really helpful to write down the 4 best case scenarios. So for example, we lost my children's school to the Eaton fire in California last year. And so for a long time, the best case scenario was that my children their school would find a great location, so I just write 4 best case scenarios, and it helps me attach to what's possible instead of what's probable.
Also, when you were first talking, I almost, like I said, I almost started crying because, and I'm still like getting emotional. I think like my nighttime routine I had this year, like in the last 6 months, I turned my phone off at 7. So that was like a really big deal for me. But it hasn't really occurred to me till you have said what you just said, which is I do think also my children leave for school at 7:30. So I'm up with them at 5:45. But I think because there's 4 of them, it's just like a little bit longer with the backpacks, the lunch boxes, the breakfast, whatever, the dressing. But I was getting emotional because like I felt like I realized just right now that I should probably do the same exact thing. Like I think I lose 15 or 20 minutes within that 5:45 a.m. to 7:30 window. At least 20 minutes I'm losing because like you said, someone might be asking for something or need something. And it's so wild because I really did it for the first time ever this year. My phone is off at 7 and my life got so much better. Like my life got crazy so much better because I felt like my body can calm down before I need to sleep. Like I'm still cleaning the table, doing chores, vacuuming, cleaning up the kitchen at that time, making tea, but like there's no phone. So I actually feel like I had like a free time.
Totally.
And then so when you were saying that your kids probably also feel like they really have this quality moment with you, I think I could totally do that too. Because I feel like whoever needs me, my kids go to school at 7:30, it can wait till, and so that really touched my heart. I wasn't expecting it when you said that. And then I've heard like journaling, what I'm grateful for, but I haven't heard someone say maybe like best case scenario. Write down like things that I call it going in your favor.
Yes.
So that's very inspiring as well. And I think that I'm not saying that your anxiety is trauma, but I want to say it for all the other parents who also have anxiety. I read something recently that said people who lean towards anxiety or run anxious, it's kind of sometimes like stored trauma in the body that's kind of resurfacing, coming out. You could even be like detoxing it out, as you're growing. So I think that people will resonate with you where if they're already doing a gratitude journal, they could write down 3 things that would go in their favor.
Absolutely.
Like I can think of 3 things right now. I have like a small physical injury that causes me a lot of muscle pain. And like, it would really feel good if I wrote down that like, I'm already healing it and it's going to be better by next week.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that is very powerful because I worry, what if my leg pain gets worse or my muscle pain?
Of course.
That's
That's so natural. I even was thinking, because first I just want to acknowledge that 4 children is not just a little bit more hectic in the morning. It's way more hectic than the morning that I'm facing. But I do really want to emphasize that doing this no phone zone thing, I just can't.
I'm going to do it. You already got me. I promise you, I do not say this lightly. That's why I actually started to cry twice in the podcast because you said it and I was like, oh, that's genius.
And it's so
it's
small.
Genius. It's going to change everything for me.
And for everyone, honestly, because listen, the truth is that we live in a day and age where if I picked up my phone at 3 a.m.
Someone's accessing you.
I could be working. There's work to do, right? And that means that this level of time and space management and this level of self-care, because what we're describing is a regulated nervous system where we're not constantly in demand and being pulled in directions that are not tactile, tangible.
This is an amazing thing I can do.
This level of self-care is a discipline. It's not a luxury. It's not an indulgence. It's about resourcing ourselves. So this small pocket of, it's very old-fashioned time where literally you could sweep your kitchen, but still be regulating your nervous system and feeling grounded. It's so powerful. I recommend that this is, you and I, we've been working in health for so long. I have a lot of information and all of us now with social media and the interest in health and wellness have a lot of information. This is one of the most powerful, impactful things anyone can do beyond salad, beyond water, beyond exercise. This is super powerful.
Also, Joelle is the incredible team member who is always filming our podcast. Have I cried on any of the podcasts yet? No, I have not. So that is incredible.
Thank you. Well,
also, we were hoping to also hear your nighttime routine.
Yes. So I try in the evening to do another no phone zone, and that starts around 5:36. And we do a family dinner at 6 o'clock. So I have a couple hacks that I really believe in if you have young children, which is a lot of people do dinner and then a bath. But I have found that having my children take a bath and then have dinner.
Can we loaf? We're really the same person because in our house, we do the bath, all four, starting at 5:30.
Yes.
5:15, 5:30, and everybody sits down at 6. Yes. So I back you.
It's so
bath
amazing.
Before dinner.
Bath before dinner.
Yes.
Try it. It'll change your life. Also, because if you're a working parent and you can't get back, like someone might be, I have a babysitter who helps me give my kids a bath.
Yeah.
And then we do a family dinner, which
there.
I also recommend. It's chaotic, but I used to, Pally and I, when we had really little children, we would give them dinner and then we would make our dinner. And then I feel like it's midnight. The truth is we have a chaotic, great family dinner together. We're done eating by 6:45-ish. Start the bedtime negotiation process at 7. That goes on probably longer in my house than yours with 4 kids because they're very good negotiators. And then honestly, I just want to get into bed at like 8:30.
Relax.
Have a tea, read, connect with Pally. Maybe we like to watch a show and just sort of unwind. And Pally and I also do something now once a week, which is we take an evening where we go to yoga together for an hour and then we get a cup of soup at Erewhon.
No, that's amazing. I feel like you would probably sleep really well that night. I only did yoga like 3 times like last September in my whole life, but I distinctly remember sleeping very, very well because I think that's also the nervous system calms down. Yeah. That's so fun.
Yeah, it's really
nice. The
nice.
yoga date and the Erewhon soup.
Because we wanted to have a date night, but we honestly didn't want it to cost $300. And we both are getting kind of stiff. So we're like, let's do something together and it's kind of cute to take yoga with your partner.
Do you guys hold hands at the end? Sometimes we
touch each other gently throughout the class.
Nice. Okay. So would you also say, before we move on to kind of like you sharing more about your Doing Well subscription and your annual or biannual, what would it be called? Bi-yearly?
I always get these wrong.
Every 6 months. Yeah, twice a year sounds great. Your twice a year groups and also your one-on-ones or the subscription. When people come, wouldn't you agree that a lot of people really don't have a consistent morning routine? Like they sort of know what it is, but they're not doing it every day. And when you're helping them, just speak a little bit about like something that you found through people working through the routines, and then anything you would like us to know about Doing Well.
Yeah. Well, I think what happens is what I love about your approach and your work and your way of life is how you break the day down, how you break the hours down, how you look at a year, how you look at a month, how you look at a week, how you look at a day, and how you look at a moment. And I find that people are easily discouraged when they can't get a whole day right, or they can't get a whole week right, or they can't get a diet, quote unquote, right. And what I really emphasize is small actions and small actions that over time have a big impact. Yeah. And if you think about your morning, it's a third of your day. So if you can get a few things locked into the morning, that has such an impact over time, right? And so I work with people really to take a look at what their day looks like and how can we make these small adjustments so that they feel more capable and more accomplished. And then really help people understand that we're hardwired for novelty. And so it's very difficult to not want to purchase something or do something drastic or intense for their health. It's way more boring to drink your water, go to bed and wake up at the same time every day.
Oh my goodness.
Get a little bit of sunshine directly into your eyeballs. All the little things that I pair one meal a day with leafy greens, like these kinds of actions. So I really help people build these doable actions into their life. But when I'm working with someone one-on-one, we're really refining and customizing a routine to support their lifestyle, their circumstances, their preferences, their health history. So it's very custom. And then the membership is a little bit more broad, but
interesting topics too.
Yeah. And the membership, one of my favorite things about it is once a month, Pally and I do a cooking demo, and we really show people the food that we cook and eat at home. And it's all less than 10 minutes.
It's
and
so beautiful.
Mostly 3 ingredients usually.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's kind of what I'm all about with Doing Well, is just making this more approachable and really, I believe that health is living with ease, feeling more ease in our experience. And so it really does help to have routines in place, because I know you speak to this so often. People get confused and think, that a routine is like from when you wake up until when you go to bed. It can be a few things throughout the day. Because having those things in place really illuminate and allow us to be more fluid and more spontaneous where we have the space to do so, right?
Yeah, it's like the structure creates freedom.
That's right.
Everyone wants freedom to do all the things that they love, but they have to have a couple anchors, a couple structures. Like I like that you highlighted, it doesn't have to be from the moment you wake up to the moment your kids go to school, or the moment kids are at school to the moment you go to work. It can just be things throughout the 24-hour period. And I really want to highlight what you said about just accessible things that can compound.
Yes.
If people were just able to focus on their sleep patterns, they might not need, X amount of beauty creams, So I'm not saying anything bad about beauty creams. I'm just saying, like, there are things that we can do that are easier and simpler that will really help our blood work, help our body, help our mental health. And then from there, we can build extras that usually you have to go to get a service done, or you have to pay for it. It might not be in your budget. Yeah, I think that's something the whole MaryRuth Organics team always talks about is, and again, there is nothing wrong with elite wellness, but I always say to MaryRuth Organics, look, I want to help people have health education, have tools that are accessible within their home unit, that they're not, might not fit the budget, might not have time to go do those things, kind of figure out, what do I have the budget for? What do I have the time for? That it creates less stress, not more. And first start there.
Yes.
Get all of those things right. Get all of those things buttoned up, and then branch out to other more exciting, potentially, like you said.
Yeah, and everything builds, right? And these things, like, I feel like you've said this to me, brick by brick, one decision at a time. And that's another thing I would love to say, which is, an advanced practitioner is not perfect all the time and doesn't get the routine right every day, but an advanced practitioner is able to return to the routine and return gently, return swiftly, and I hope return with a little bit of a sense of humor or like a game mentality. And a morning routine is so beautiful because it's something that's quite easy to return to, because each morning is a new beginning. And so we can think, okay, well, the day might have, unraveled a little bit. We all get a little less focused, a little more tired, maybe irritable towards the end of the day, but we have tomorrow to return to the routine. And I think that's
so beautiful.
Well, having a routine, you have to have one to return, right? So these little things make such a difference.
I also, because that was very beautiful, what you just said. So I wanted to say that I also found that when people are going through really tough, challenging times where they feel like they're not going to make it, that is like also an anchor. Like, okay, like I feel like potentially, again, different challenges that everyone goes through, they can go back to the routine. Okay, I don't want to do all 5 things, but can I do 1 or 2 and make sure my kids get to school safely, or I get to work whatever on time? But yeah, to return, I think that's very beautiful, very important to have a morning and nighttime routine that you can return to, and you have free will to do, whatever you want within that list that you've created for yourself. I was hoping before we end the podcast for a minute or 2, you could share with us just about your beautiful boys and like any words of encouragement for not just parents who are listening, but we also have single dads, single moms. We have foster mothers. We have teachers, mentors. We have caregivers. So some people don't have children, but they are taking care of their elderly parents. They're responsible for their pets. So like anything you wanted to say, just in an encouragement way for people, so they feel they are not alone.
Yes.
That you would like to share throughout your own journey or the journey of being the mom to 2 beautiful boys.
Well, I'll share perhaps something that I'm working on, which is because I'm quite, I'm routine oriented, and I also am very punctual, and I have a little bit of my husband would say I'm a little bit of a goody-goody. And so something I'm working on with my children is not rushing them. And I'm not great at it because I'm always like, we got to go, we got to be on time, and just being aware of rushing and allowing my intention to not rush them as much to also help me slow down and be in the moment more and notice. This goes back a little bit to what we were talking about before, best case scenario. It's really easy for us to notice what's uncomfortable or discomfort or not going our way. And I actually have to ask myself to notice what feels good. And so sometimes when I'm sitting with my child, I have to remind myself, oh, this feels so good. Yeah. I'm just going to stay in this moment extra and not rush to get to the play date or not rush to get the dinner on the table, and just be in this moment with my child who's so good at that, right? Who's so good at being in the present moment. So I don't know if that's encouraging to anyone.
I think that was probably one of the best things you can say, because stress or rushing creates just like so much havoc on the nervous system and the cortisol, and people don't feel good when they're rushing.
And we're all rushing.
No one feels good. Like no one feels good even around. Like we're all rushing.
Yeah. And we're all so compressed.
That was incredible. I think that was the most perfect thing that probably a lot of people will say, like, that is so true. Like, let me drop into the present moment. Let me see, okay, this feels really good. And kind of just like slowing down.
Slowing down. And it's so counterintuitive, and it's so radical. It's so radical in this day and age too, even to slow down how much our children are exposed to, or rushing them to out of childhood, So any opportunity, I feel like, to move more slowly, it's very radical.
Yeah, I love it so much. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Daphne. And again, everyone, please check out Doing Well and the Doing Well subscription, or the one-on-one programs with you personally, or the twice a year groups. The groups.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Daphne.
Oh my gosh,
love you.
My pleasure. Yeah. I love you. Thank you for having me.
Yay!